Now, when it comes to the appointment of Ange Postecoglou, it seems to be two very contrasting philosophies, and I'm not just saying that. The stats back it up. You look at all the numbers for Forest last season compared to Ange Postecoglou last season when he was at Tottenham. It's apples and oranges here, Henry. Does this make sense as an appointment? Apart from being friends with Marinakis.
Well, this is the thing, we're going to find out. He has the players here to play how he wants to play, but he hasn't had a lot of time with them, so he might need to work on the training ground a bit for exactly what he wants. But today I feel like he needs to come here, respect Arsenal, and Forest are quick enough on the counter-attack. We saw that last year. They're quick to go forward. So if they can, first 20 minutes, keep tight, I think go from there, and then I think in the future he will change going away.
Yeah, you've got to look at the stats. You know, Nuno, 13 clean sheets, and you've got Postecoglou with 6. Forest have not got the quickest of defenders, centre-backs, Murillo and Milenkovic. So if you try and play that high line like they did with Spurs...
He's not going to enjoy that.
Well, no, they're both not going to enjoy that, and Forest are not going to enjoy that. It'll be a long afternoon. We saw some games where, you know, he did play a low block in the European final against Man United, and they came out with a clean sheet and won the game. So is he going to rest on his laurels, or is he going to be stubborn? I think he needs to understand the team he's got and think, right, the best way that the Forest have been playing, where they've been successful, is defensively and counter-attacking football. If he tries to change that, then he'll get found out.
But the changes have already been put in place, and I know the sample size for this season is only 3 games long versus 38 for last season, but I do have a few numbers to back it up, what I'm trying to say. 5th highest possession this season. They were 3rd lowest last season. They ranked 2nd in the league for high-intensity pressures this season. That's more than Arsenal. They're playing much more on the front foot, and you look at the signings they've made. It's not just about Ange. He wasn't at the club yet. Is it fair for me to say changes have been tried already?
Well, they have been tried, and that's why I think the players that came in are through Edu, not through Nuno himself. I think he's got a style of play, but the hierarchy wanted to somehow change that. They wanted to be more expansive, wanted to be more exciting. They didn't like sitting back in, you know, defensively, you try and break us down and we'll try and get the counter-attack. So, but, you know, if the record's not broke, why fix it? But obviously they're trying to do that. And let's see if Ange can get that transition out of the players.
You say that, however, when Steve Cooper was sacked, the fans didn't like that. They loved Steve Cooper. Nuno Espirito Santo was appointed. They didn't like that. But it worked out. I think it's fair to say they got European football. They almost got Champions League football right up until the final day of the season. I mean, do you think this is a logical step forward for Forest if they want to evolve? Now they are playing in Europe and playing in the top half of the Premier League, competing for positions.
In my opinion, no. I think they should have stuck with Nuno. I think he's built a great squad, and the city behind them, it's only moving forward. And like I say, European football this year, it's massive for Forest to be back where they belong. And changing him at this time is, I think, a bad choice.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with Henry. I think, you know, it's not a small subtle change, it's a drastic change with the contrast and styles of play. It's like I said, night and day. To change things around that big of a difference, it's asking a lot from the players. If you look at, you know, I go back to Liverpool, you look at Slot and Klopp, there's not big of a difference. Hence why the transition period was easy. Little tweaks here and there, and the team was successful. But to go for someone with a different philosophy, different style of play, that takes seasons.
But in terms of the system at Forest, it seems to be more fitting for Edu. Look at the players that have been brought in. A lot of them have come from, or at least were at the academy at Manchester City. McAtee, Douglas Luiz, or at Chelsea. I mean, they got Hudson-Odoi here already. Hutchinson was obviously at Chelsea. It seems to make sense to have someone that fits the structure of the club more with the signings that they've made. Or am I being unfair here?
It's a tough one, because look at Nuno last year, he's building something, and look at the past few games. They are moving forward. So obviously, him and Edu have spoken, and the performances show that. To bring Ange straight in, does he go and put his foot down right away? I'm not too sure it's the right choice.
All right,